Our son is paralyzed for the second time, and we still don't have a diagnosis. No answers from anyone. Part 44 of sharing my story on here because it's so much easier than writing another book. So our son, who is 4, about to turn 5 years old, he was out playing in the puddles one day, and it was fun. Like, we didn't really think anything of it because he had been sick before. It was like him playing was a really cool thing. And he woke up the next day after playing in these puddles and he couldn't move again. And it was terrifying because what we thought might have been just a one-time occurrence, like a virus or some kind of bacteria, parasite, something that got in him, was now back again. Which means we have to figure out what's going on with him because it's not okay. Now, at the same time, Reed had been going to like some mom groups and things like that because he was a stay-at-home parent, which is just weird in and of itself. They don't have enough support for stay-at-home dads, and that's really a thing. But this one gal took a pretty big interest in him. And whereas we both always had relationships, like friendships with other people, it was always very safe. Like, we were really respectful. We've never had, outside of his corn addiction, there was never any cheating issues, not other people. We had this amazing trust that was really freaking awesome. But once we left Christianity, he's like edging into really different territory, and like he's experimenting, but not in a healthy way. And this gal had a few kids also, and she was really sweet and quite wealthy. Not like wealthy, but like upper middle class. And she had a doctor, and she paid for like the first $5,000 for our son to receive care. And she was expecting more from him, and you could just feel it in the vibe. Like, it was so intense. And so we took the money and the doctor, and I was just like, Reed, you got to do something about this, because it's not okay for her to just be like really attached to you and you just pretend like it doesn't exist. Like, his lack of awareness and his obliviousness was just palpable. Like, it was crazy making. So we end up taking him to her doctor, and she is this elderly German lady, and she's remarkable. And she immediately got out. She was doing all the muscle testing and has all this extra equipment. Like, we've been to lots of doctors, but stuff that I hadn't really seen doctors do before, even like lots of doctors, lots of naturopaths. And she was able to get to the heart of it within like 2 appointments. And what she diagnosed him with was Lyme disease, cat scratch fever, and Rocky Mountain spotted fever. And we ended up getting a bunch of tinctures and stuff from her, and he started to really get better, like much faster. And we felt like we had answers, and we did, because she's fucking remarkable. But what's also coming up is that he has a really severe reaction to cedar trees, which are a certain type of tree. Like, if you're in Austin, you feel that cedar fever. Like, it makes people's faces swell up. It's really, when those cedar trees drop their pollen, it is toxic. Well, for him, it was so toxic that combined with the Lyme and the Co diseases, that it would make him completely paralyzed. And so we are looking at this decision of, we need to move, because next time the cedar pollinates, he's going to get sick again, because that's what that's the trigger for the flare of his illness now. And so we start looking around, and first thought was, why don't we go to like Paradise, California? Like, it's up north, and I love it up there. Like, I love Northern California. That's where I was born. And there's no cedar trees. So maybe we could do that. And then the other thought was, one of my friends from work was like, there's this coastal town, Rockport, Texas, that's like really cool. It's close by. You'll be able to get work. Really, it's just a few-hour drive. So it would be an easy transition for us. And ultimately, that's what we decide. So we start going through the process of planning to move our RV that has not been moved in like 2 years, move our RV to the coast, and hopefully being by the salt water and the sand that his allergies will be better and we won't have the same problems. So I'm like just going to pass my business off to someone because I want to care for my clients, but I want to be out of the lettuce selling business because I don't like the risk, especially in Texas. And the reason I can tell this story is because of statute of limitations. We quit. And because of that, where I'm good to talk about it now. But I did not quit in the way I wanted to quit because Reed was a dumbass. So there were a couple guys in the neighborhood that he was hanging out with that I did not like, and they were not safe for the kids. They were not cool people. And I would tell him over and over, don't ever sell less than half a head of lettuce because these sheep fuckers, they do stupid things. And I had just re-upped. And so I had like half a case of heads of lettuce. And I was like, and he wakes me up one morning in a full-blown panic because we had been keeping it in a shed, not in our house. It was a super heavy duty, like he had built this shed from scratch. It was super heavy duty wooden doors. Someone had taken like a crowbar and carved the doors and the lock open because it was dead bolted. It was super heavy duty. And someone had spent probably a good 45 minutes opening these doors and taking my entire stash, like the whole fucking thing. And it was one of the first times that I had ever seen Reed truly terrified. And it was terrifying because, you know, he's like this giant Viking guy and now he's scared out of his wits. And I start like, what do? You can't just call law enforcement. And part of the people in our neighborhood were law enforcement or working for, like Department of Corrections or at the prison. Like they were all uniform type people. Why he was doing this, I don't know. So me and one of my friends and him start tracking people down because I am fucking pissed. I'm out like about $2,000 and I'm like, I just want my shit back. And I am on the full hunt. And God, we scared so many people. I had these two guys with me, you know, both of them are 6'6". One is very dark, one is very white. And we're just like rolling and I'm finding these people. We track it down. And it turns out to be law enforcement people. And I'm like, what do you do? What do you do? There's literally nothing you can do. And we were set to leave in like 2 weeks. During this time, we had a mouse in the walls of the trailer and we knew it was there. And I kept telling Reed, you got to fix it. You got to get rid of this mouse because it's going to eat the wiring and shit. You know what it did? It ate all of the wiring. When we were ready to pack up and leave, it's Christmas 2016 and we can't even go to the beach now. Like all we wanted to do was go spend Christmas at the beach. We had some extra money and now we got robbed. There's a mouse in the trailer that ate all the wiring. And then when the mouse finally came out one day, instead of actually killing the fucking mouse, our daughter had to do it. This was the thing that broke in her where she was like, yeah, he ain't shit. Because instead of him killing the mouse, she grabbed one of his giant size 16 shoes, whacks the mouse, and he's sobbing on the bed. Like, it's in-fucking-sane how cowardly this man is. So I end up using all of my crocheting skills, tracing the wires and redoing the wiring on the trailer so that we can get our son out of there so he's not sick again because of the cedar. And we spend all Christmas doing fucking wiring. Oh my God, I was pissed. So we finally get out of there after Christmas and we get to the beach and now I've like got to immediately get a job because all of our savings got eaten up by the week of being there and trying to figure this damn thing out. And wiring's expensive. Like to rewire a trailer and truck, like it was a lot. But we made it and we're at the beach and I'm like, okay, this is our path to a new life. We got this.